All right, so regions review, number 9. Everyone ready? What are the roots? That's asking you for what? Solution, yep. Another word they could have put there was zeros, as we found out yesterday on the one we did right before we ended class. Okay, I'm trying to get you in this mode, specifically multiple choice, and don't go attack the problem. Do not go attack the problem. This is multiple choice. What am I going to ask you here? Take -2 right now. Is it a solution? I don't know. Store it in your calculator and see if you get -7 out. All right, so take -2, store it in your calculator. And then find out what 3x squared plus 2x is. 3x squared plus 2x, right? Yep. And it gives you 8, not 7, huh? That's a problem. Or -7, that's a problem. So guess what? Not one of my answers. And also, just a quick comment, both have to work here, everybody, both. So just because you test one and it works doesn't mean you hit the jackpot. Got to test both. All right, so let's test one now. Let's go to choice 2. Store 1 in for x. And going up. 5, not what I needed. See you later. All right, I am going, because here's the reason. Some of your calculators will be able to handle the I there, some will not, as I found out the hard way 5th period. Do I really need to enter this in? No, I can enter number 4, and if that's the one, that's the one. If it's not, if I store this in right now and it's not the answer, I'm left with 3, so I know it is. All right, so here we go. So alpha y equals -1. Do it with me here. Get used to it. Get used to it. Now, do you see how it's the plus or minus? Just pick one, please. Just pick one, the plus or the minus version. Pick one. So plus another fraction. What's going on top there? A radical 11 over 3. All right. Not even close. Not even close to what I need. Actually, never. What am I doing? I need to store it in for x. Sorry. Store it in for x. All right, now let's check it with 3x squared plus 2x. Again, not even close. All right, so we now know it's, and I'm serious here. Some of your, if you tried storing in number 3, some of your, like my calculator up here would handle it. Just I found out, even like if you have the new operating systems and you can do alpha y equals and get a fraction template, it still didn't work on some of them. And I'm not done. There you go. Okay. Another one that just uses your, what was this, the 3rd or 4th one we've done already? All right, whoa, where are we going here? Where are we going? You know how I roll. What am I going to say now? Yeah, what if this isn't multiple choice and the old store key doesn't work for us? Because I can envision, especially this type of problem, I can envision that happening. This is a nice little part 2 question, or part 3. So how do I solve this darn thing without any help? First step, move 7 over. Yep, get it equal to 0. 3x squared plus 2x equals plus 7 equals 0. All right, nobody could do a 5th period, so let's see if you can do it. To solve for x, anything with a squared, you have 3 options right now. You have 3 options to do it. You could try to factor it if you want. What are my other 2 options? Quadratic formula, which is given to you on your reference sheet. Nobody could come up with the third way. Complete the square. Yep. All right, let's just quickly go. Ready? Factoring, I can tell you is not going to work here because look what we got for an answer. All right, so you can try factoring, and we have 8 weeks from yesterday. We'll practice all the factoring underneath the sun. Complete the square, I would not advise. Here's why. Complete the square, the a value needs to be 1. And if you're going to divide everything by 3, that's going to be pretty crappy right here. Everyone agree? All right, so you can complete the square, but it's not going to be pretty. So that's why I'm going to use quadratic formula with you right now. Here you go, ready? X equals, and it's on your formula sheet. Don't be freaked out. You don't need to memorize it. Negative b, so what number should I put in first? Negative b. Negative 2. Don't start. Come on, I got one class to get through. Negative 2 plus or minus. Hey, watch this. Watch this. I am not plugging in anything underneath, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm just going to put b squared minus 4ac. I'll show you why I'm not going to plug anything in. Over 2a, so 2 times 3. Yep. All right. Here is why I'm not plugging anything in. Because I am nervous. I will make a mistake or you will make a mistake plugging in and doing the operations underneath. I'm going to have you store those values into your calculator and just have your calculator do it for you. All right, to find the number underneath the radical. So what's in for A? 3. So everyone tell your calculator. Now you can't just substitute an X here. It's got to be an A. It's got to be. So take 3, store it. Now everyone see A right here above math. So you got to go alpha math. Take 2, store it in for B, which is right next to A under above apps. And then our C value of 7, right next to B. So take 7, store it in for C. And what are we going to ask the calculator to figure out? Ready? B squared minus 4AC. Do it, please. You're not going to get this number underneath the radical wrong. It's negative 80. Okay, negative 80 underneath the radical. All right, keep going now. This is why I wanted to do this one all out here with you. Negative 2 plus or minus. When I take the negative out, anybody remember last year what it becomes when I take it out of the radical? I, yep. So negative 2 plus or minus I, radical 80 over 6. Everybody break down 80 for me. Biggest perfect square that goes into 80. 4 works, but there's something bigger. 8's not a perfect square. I take back my pound. You can get it back. 16, yes. What's the square root of 16? 4, so 4i, and then what number should go underneath the radical there? 16 times what gave me 80? All right, again, guys, the 4K, hey, just so you know, 16 and 5. So I did square root of 16, gave me that 4, and then the 5 came along. And the last thing you got to do is just reduce. Negative 2 over 6. Negative 1/3 plus or minus. Somebody reduce 4 over 6 now. 2i radical 5 over 3 again. And that's how I ended up with it. All right, questions there? Because I have no idea what's on this, but wouldn't be shocked. What are we doing? Oh, 10. Yeah, how about we do 10? 10's going to be pretty quick. Oh, please, somebody in here, please make me proud, because I taught you this. All right, this is not a last year topic where I can blame it on whoever you had last year. All right, this is a me topic. And really, I could care less about the 8% and if the new boat is purchased at 75,000. It's modeled using a recursive formula. If you remember, there are two parts to every recursive formula. Now, here's where you possibly make me proud. The two parts, anybody remember the two parts to a recursive formula? Well, now that I told you there's two parts, can you eliminate two of the answers up there for me at least? Can we start there? Okay, here you go. I'll get over it soon. You need the starting value. And you need the rule using the previous term. Every recursive formula, you need the starting value and the rule using previous term. You remember what our previous term looked like usually? A with the subscript of and a -1. Yep. So anybody know, by the way, I said 8%, why they put a 0.92 in there? That's what's left over. Remember, 8% decreasing, that's what's left over. Yep. I don't feel good about myself. Thanks, guys. Anything else? Okay, probability time. I know there's some people out today, so get with somebody else. Even if it's the same person you've been working with, fine. If it's somebody new, fine. I don't want to well though. All right, get with somebody. Let's go. All right, let's do this. Make sure you have a calculator with you. Sure, you'll be so excited. Probability I have to show you today. New type of probability. A little review first. You guys ever seen the Venn diagrams before? If not in math, maybe science, Venn diagrams. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. As part of these Venn diagrams, we can figure out two things. One is called a union, which means it's in one or the other, but not both. All right, it's in one or the other, but not both. And then there's something called the intersection of the Venn diagrams, and that is in both. All right, that's the overlapping part. All right, so I have a union, which could be in this one or this one, but not both. And then the both comes in, I call that the intersection. All right, so I have a spinner here, 1 through 8. I need your help placing the numbers in the appropriate spot on this Venn diagram. I got a spot for evens, I got a spot for primes, and then I got an intersection where they're both prime and even. I want to remind you, or just tell you, the first prime number you encounter is 2. Okay, 1 is not a prime number. Okay, 2 is the first prime number. Ready? Number 1. Where should I put that? Right off the bat, I'm giving you a tough one. Is it even? Is it prime? No, so it doesn't go in either, so I put it not outside, but outside the circles at least, but still inside the rectangle here, 1. All right, where are you going to put 2? It's even. Is it prime? Okay, so it's both, so that goes in the intersection part. All right, let's go quick here. Where's 3 going? Three is, I should probably just change this to 3 is prime. 3 is prime. 4. 4. Even. 5. 6. 7, and 8. Okay, so there's my Venn diagram. Now from this, I want the union and the intersection. What numbers would I put in the union? What numbers would I put in the intersection? Before we do that, let's get used to some symbols here. Or union, it's going to be a U. Okay, U for union. So tell me right now, looking at your Venn diagram, give me numbers that are in A or B, but not both. Give me numbers that are in A or B, but not both. Everything but what? 2. And 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? In A or B, but not both. What about the intersection of A and B? Ready for that symbol? Flip the U upside down. That's and. That's and. And what's the only value there? 2. Okay, relax for a second, because this part's not on here. You're going to flip 2 coins. Oh, here he goes again. You're going to flip 2 coins. What's the probability I get heads on both? So I flip 2 coins. What's the probability? Heads, heads. What's the probability I get heads on both? 1 out of 4. Everyone agrees? 1 out of 4? That's correct. Here's where we're going to focus on today. Ready? Now think about this before you speak. What if you already knew the first coin landed heads? What's the probability of getting 2 heads now? Think about it. If you already knew that the first coin landed heads up, what's the probability I go heads, heads now? Because it is no longer 1/4. Think about that. The first coin landed heads up. What's the probability now I go heads, heads? What are we thinking? Why 1/2? Right? Because you already know the first one landed heads. So now, what's the probability the next one lands heads? 1/2. That's the probability I'm going to go with you today is, hey, now that you know something occurred, what's the probability? All right, given this already happened, what's the probability something else now? All right, this is called, and I'm going to go flying now, conditional probability. All right, conditional probability. Here's the notation you will see. Yep, right up here. Perfect. Here's the notation. Probability A, or it could be any letter, but vertical line B. That's the probability of A given B has already occurred. Probability of A given B has already occurred. Called conditional probability. Go back to that the Venn diagrams. Now I put dots in here. Ready? Hopefully this cleans it up now. Could somebody read that for me? This is the probability of A given B. Guys, B has already occurred. All right? So what it's saying is B happened. So you can only look at the dots in B now. How many of them are there? Oh boy. There are 12 total that are in B. Everyone agree? All right, so that is your new total now. Since B, I'm only looking at B now. Out of 12, not the whole thing anymore. We're not going out of the total anymore. We're going off of what was given. So out of B, B happened. How many are from A? How many are from A? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the probability of A happening given B just occurred, 4 out of 12. You are now going from a new total, and that total is whatever was given. Okay, flip it on yourself right now. What's the probability of B given A already happened? So now you're looking at a different set of dots, the ones that are in A. So how many total dots do I have in A now? 10. And how many are from B? 4. Yep. Oh, before we go, can we kind of sum this up a little bit? And don't worry, we're not doing a frequency. I don't have time for that. Where'd that 4 come from? Can you give me another name for the 4? Because it came up both times in the numerator. The intersection goes on top. The intersection of the two goes on top. And what goes on the bottom? Where'd the 12 come from? Because these are different. So where'd the 12 and where'd the 10 come from? I know intersection goes on top, but where'd the 12 come from? Whatever was given. Okay, so the intersection will go on top. However many are in the given go on the bottom now. This table look familiar to anybody? On the next page, this table look familiar? The old asthma, smoking, not smoking. Okay, go back. Just so you know where my numbers are going to come from, go back to page 20 for me real quick. Go back to page 20 for me. You see all those decimals you have in that table? All I'm going to do is multiply each of them by 1,000 so I can get actual numbers of people right now for this new chart I'm going to fill out. Okay, so for example, ready? How many students has asthma? No household members smoke. What decimal do you have there? Student has asthma. No household members smoke. What decimal do you have there? 0.073. So I'm going to multiply that by 1,000 and say, going back to the new table here, there's 73 people that fit that. Okay, I'll do it for you just so you guys don't have to go through and calculate all these. So I got 73. Give me a second here. Oh, we get there. There we go. 73, 120. Total here, 193. Going back here, I got 506. I got 301. I have 579. I have 421. All right. Oh, and I'm missing 807 here for the total. Don't have asthma. 807. Okay, ready to answer part A with me, and then B and C are going to be in your groups. Part A with me, B and C in your groups, and then D, we're not doing it all. Okay, you randomly select a student that has asthma. So guys, we are only looking at the asthma portion right now. Everyone see that? The student has asthma, the 73, 120, 193. What's the probability that at least one household member who smokes? I'm not looking at the total of 1,000 anymore. What's my new total now on the bottom? Selected student has asthma. 193. So that's what this is going to be out of, 193. Out of those 193 that was given to us, how many students have one household member who smokes? 120. Okay, this is no longer out of the totals of 1,000. Okay, what is given to me, that's my new denominator. B and C in your groups right now. Go ahead, B and C. Use those tables, B and C. Talk it over with each other. Okay, part B. Any group want to report back? Now you're looking at the people who don't have asthma. What's the probability at least one household member smokes then? What are we looking at for this one? 301 out of 807. And now in part C, I gave you that one household member smokes. So this should have been out of what for part C? Out of what? 421. And how many have asthma? $120. All right. Anything else? Okay. One doesn't make you great. That's for darn sure. Okay. I got associates, bachelor's, and advanced degrees, males and females. Just make sure we can read it. And I apologize, I didn't have a vertical bar to type this out. I had to use the slant. Sorry, that's what I'm talking about, though, the vertical bar. I need you to find the probability it's male, given you have a bachelor's. So another way to say this is, out of all the bachelor degrees, what's the probability you're a male? Okay, that's how I'm reading it. Given you have a bachelor's degree. All right, so how many have a bachelor's degree? 500 and... No, just have I'm not getting to the male part yet. Out of the people. So bachelor's degree. How many have a bachelor's degree? Because that's what I'm given. 1,323. Out of those, 1,323, how many are male? That is where the 547 comes into play. Questions there? You just got to get reps in here. That's how it's going to get easier, is getting reps. Now, people look at B and C. Oh, that's the same thing. It's going to be the same probability. No, it won't. I'm taking it from two different places. This first one is I'm taking it from all the females. So how many total females are here? Let me calculate it. 1,000. So out of those females, how many have an advanced degree? Thank you. How's this different in part C? Now you're taking all the advanced degrees. Oh, rough life, which is 567. Out of those 567, how many are female? 322. Okay, hey, whoa, before we flip it over. How is this right now?
Pretty good.
We can handle this conditional stuff. Because unfortunately, I'm not going to give you a table the whole time.
What?
I'm not giving you a table to do all this. I may just come out and say something like you'll see in a second. All right. So what happens if I don't have a table? All right, and I can't just punch numbers in my calculator. All right, take a look. What I mean is totals aren't given anymore. All right, I'm not going to do 4 yet, but just let's read through the Brown School. Math 8. Remember those days? Technology. Good times, right? Over at the middle school. The probability that a student takes Math 8 and technology is 0.12. See, guys, I'm not giving you how many kids do it. I'm giving you the probability now. And then they take Math 8 only is 0.16, and I'm trying to find the probability they're going to take technology given they take Math 8. Now, you can't just rely on the totals anymore. We need a new way of doing this, and that's the formula I have up above. And this is basically what you guys have been telling me, is if you're going to find a conditional probability, the numerator is the intersection, the chances they do both. And on the bottom is, what's that A? That's the given. All right, that's the given is the A. So using this new formula, ready? What's the probability? Let's see. Student takes technology. I'm just going to put tech. Everyone all right with that? Yeah. Given they're taking Math 8. I don't know how many people are taking Math 8. I don't know that, but I can use the formula now. On top, in the conditional, should be both. What are the chances they're taking tech and Math 8? 0.12. You don't have to change that into a fraction. You can just leave 0.12. What goes on the bottom? The given. What did I give you on this one? What's the given part? Given they are already in Math 8. So what's the chances they're in Math 8? 0.16. So if you're already in Math 8, what's the chances you take tech as well? 0.75, 75% chance. So basically, here's what it's saying. 3/4 of the kids in Math A also take tech. Hey, how about a little key club? Key club? Yeah, Liz, key club? Okay, yeah. Anybody? Big plans this weekend?
Going to the wrestling tournament tomorrow. Grace, you guys come to my game?
Okay.
I have to babysit from 7 to 12. My game's at 5:30.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
You babysit that late, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that true? You babysitters in the house?
Yeah, our guest goes out too. Love kids.
Because there's a little quick story about that. That's funny you bring that up because in a couple weeks, Mrs. Carlino and I have a invitation to go somewhere late at night. No.
Were you in Spain?
It starts at 9, and I was like, who am I going to find to start at 9? No. No, I don't. I don't want you anywhere near my house. How about that? Okay? Let alone my children. All right. But is that something like, is that rude of me to ask, or is that common?
Money is money.
I know, but don't worry about it. Okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's my answer, I guess.
So you don't want to babysit.
You can get off that train. If I have a top 50, you're number 51. All right? How about that? All right. Here we go. All right, now I give you percentages. If 2.3% are in the Key Club, 8.6 are in physics, and 1.9 are in both. So I gave you 3. You know you need 2 of them, right? Determine the probability of P given K. So probability you're in physics given you're in Key Club. All right, on top is always the both. Always the both on top when I find this conditional. So what are the chances you're in physics and Key Club? Read it carefully. Read it carefully. What's the chances that you're in physics and Key Club? 1.9%, right? I don't know. You want to put that as a decimal or leave the percent because you can do it as a decimal. But if you do a decimal, it's not 0.19 though. 0.019. Okay, guys. Hey, what? Don't tell me the number. What should go on both? What should go on the bottom? The given, right? What's a given to us? That you're already in Key Club. So what is the chance you're in Key Club? Everyone says 8.6. Everyone says 8.6 because it's just attached to the K, but that's not the, it's the 2.3. Yep. So 0.023. We okay on where these numbers are coming? I do not need that 8.6 at all. Both over the given. Both over the given. And this comes out to be what? Don't give me a bunch here. Give me a bunch of 0.8260. All right. What's the directions? Ask me though. 1/10 of a percent. Percent. So what would this be as a percent to the nearest 10th? 82.6%. Yep. So again, if you're in Key Club, 82.6 members of the Key Club are in AP Physics. I'm not worried about the principal interpretation. Are we okay on the rule here? The formula. Go to number 6A in your assignment. Go to 6A. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. What do you got to create for me in 6A? One of those two-way frequency tables, which I don't want you to have to come up by yourself. There it is. All right, that's what it's going to look like. Once you copy that down, you and your partner, you and your group, go right to number 1, right to the bell. All right? You guys can clean up right after when the bell rings. Can I babysit? Yeah. Everyone take a look at Grace right now. That's what I want right now. Babysit for me. Yeah. I'm sure you're great. I'm sure you're great.